Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the parts of the world. My name is Raven, aka Array of Sunshine 21. Here on YouTube. I'm weird to say the word YouTube. Welcome. Welcome to the debut, kind of a debut episode of A Ray of Sunshine, but um, the purpose of the YouTube, however, for A Ray of Sunshine, this one is for any other extra stories. Um, Positive stories that I like to bring. And it's just kind of a positivity type um, network channel that I want to do for YouTube now. If you're interested, um, by the way, before I go on, I feel like I jumped ahead on the story, but I do have a show called A Ray of Sunshine that is mainly on Twitch. And by the way, season 3 of that show returns on Monday, October 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. If you're interested, go to my link right there, twitch.tv/Array of Sunshine 21. And actually, I can even type it in the chat here. Let's see if I can type it in the chat here. Maybe just 1 second. Yeah, I got a secondary um, channel here just to make sure. Oops. There we go. I don't know if the link will work on there, but twitch.tv/Array of Sunshine 21. There again, that is my main show page on there on Twitch. I do go on more Twitch than will be on here. And again, the main purpose of doing this YouTube is I usually do a set amount of stories on Twitch, and any stories that didn't get featured, I will tell people, hey, go to the goodnewsnetwork.org and make sure to read some of the stories. And any given week, there are some good stories on that website. So I thought about maybe I should create a second channel, do it on YouTube, and any extra stories that didn't get featured on my main show, I'm going to do it's going to be mainly videos for YouTube. But I thought maybe today, in celebration to launching this YouTube channel, I will decide to do a live show for you guys. just to see what y'all will get um, when you see me do my videos, or if I do a pop-up live like this, what y'all are going to expect um, from the channel here. So again, it's twitch.tv/array of sunshine 21. That's my main channel. And I check out my comments there. So it has the nice little YouTube logo. And by the way, I always, if you comment on my lives, I'll make sure you get featured on there to make sure your comments are on there as well. I mainly do that on my Twitter as well, for comments and reactions to mainly the stories as well. So again, that's my Twitch website. That's the main channel I go on, and I plan on doing this YouTube channel as an extra sunshine extra. I should call this for this YouTube channel. So anyway, so this afternoon, I got about 5 or 6 stories, I think, that I will introduce you guys to kick off this YouTube channel, and again get the feel of what I will bring. All of the stories are from the goodnewsnetwork.org. Make sure to check them out. I'll even put the site on here as well. Goodnewsnetwork.org. Make sure to check these guys out. They do a lot of good, positive stories stuff on here. That's where mainly all of the stories are coming from. So that's the goodnewsnetwork.org. Make sure to check them out. We're going to go ahead and get started with our first story for today. So let me go ahead and add that to the stream. And I decided to start with a little bit of a celebrity flair here. And I think this made news, I think also. But John Cena smashes Guinness World Record, granting 650 wishes for sick children. And this is from the Good News Network from Andy Corbley of September 29th of 2022. So if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and kick off this YouTube channel right now with this first story for today. And let's go ahead and get started. So here we go. Hopefully you guys can hear me, see me, and all of that good stuff. So there's John Cena right there. Also, I'm going to have to drink up for the story here as well. So again, if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started with our first story for this afternoon. Here we go. American actor and WWE superstar John Cena has set a new world record for the most wishes granted through the Make-A-Wish Foundation with 650. The Make-A-Wish Foundation helps fulfill the wishes of children who have been diagnosed with a critical illness. As the most wish for a celebrity, nobody else has ever granted more than 200 wishes in the 42-year existence of Make-A-Wish. Targeting children between the age of 2 and 18, they can choose to meet a celebrity, go to an event, or even give a gift to someone. And we're thrilled to honor Cena as the man who has fulfilled the most wishes. Quote, if you ever need me for this ever, I don't care what I'm doing. I will drop what I'm doing and be involved because I think that's the coolest thing, Cena said in an interview after being honored for 500 wishes granted. I just drop everything. And if I can offer a fantastic experience, I'll be first in line to do my part. Cena began his career in professional wrestling back in 1999 and has since gone on to become one of the most popular athletes of all time. He is a 16-time world champion in WWE, tied with Ric Flair. A crowd favorite character in the face for WWE's Be a Star anti-bullying campaign, he granted his first wish for the foundation in 2002. In 2012, Cena granted Make-A-Wish's 1,000th wish to a fan named Carton. Once receiving the opportunity to meet Cena, children take photos and hang out with their favorite wrestler and sometimes even venture inside the ring. Cena is usually accompanied by one of his championship belts. He has held the WWE Championship 13 separate times and often lets the kids try it on. And here is a video. Usually with these stories, you will get videos with them. So We're going to take a look at this video here at look back at John Cena's 500 wishes with Make-A-Wish Foundations. Let's go ahead and take a look at the video here.
I can think I can do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You can't see me.
We all come from different walks of life. We all do different things, but we're in this room for one common goal, and that's because we want to make dreams come true.
Well,
hello. How are you?
I can sweep you off your feet.
Perfect.
He's just an incredible individual. You could see that with the amount of time that he spends with each child.
Very happy to hear my guest. Awesome.
You can't see me.
John has granted more wishes than any other celebrity in the history of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I've always said that being a part of Make-A-Wish and being able to contribute to the Make-A-Wish Foundation is something extra special.
Oh my goodness, this one's so much heavier.
How do you carry this around all day?
That's where these come from.
The champ is here.
Champ is here right now. I got a question for you. Can we get a picture together?
Yes.
They could have chosen to wish for anything, and they've chosen to meet him. And he understands that, and he understands how life-transforming these experiences are.
You were somebody's wish. I mean, that doesn't even sound right to say, but it certainly makes you feel good. I can't say enough about how cool it is to see the kids so happy and the family so happy. I really want to make them feel like it's not just another show. It's truly their day. Oh, we got to say hello.
Are you going to tell him what got you through all this?
There's no way that anybody else could have given that child that time and those memories to have. There's a bond there that I won't forget.
Perfect.
All right, so that was the first video there. Looking back at John Cena gave 500 wishes with Make-A-Wish Foundation. I know back in season 2 when I done my show on Twitch, I don't know if I posted this up or not, but went somewhere, I think somewhere in the UK, Ireland, somewhere, and was visiting a kid, a teenager, at his house one day, and just granted a wish, say, "Hey, John Cena's here," because the kid was a big John Cena fan, and they spent the day together, done a lot of things, and all of that. So, a very good man here, and a good way to kick off the first story for today here on YouTube. John Cena smashes Guinness World Record, granting 650 wishes for sick children, and this is from Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for September 29th of 2022. As we go on to our next story for today, and our next one is kind of an interesting one here. I'd love to bring up stuff from the science world, and especially with the future coming up with vehicles and planes and trains and all of that. Incredible world first electric sea glider vehicle ready for production after successful tests. And this is from Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for September 29th of 2022. And kind of a very interesting sea glider as well, just looking at this photo here. Kind of interesting. It's like a like it should be something in a video game or something there, but interesting sea glider here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this plane here. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started with story number 2 of today. An incredible hybrid high-speed yacht seaplane vehicle has completed successful flight tests and is ready now for production. Designed for sustainable maritime travel, the fully electric sea glider operates a few meters off the water surface on hydrofoils until it needs to fly. Rhode Island-based company Regent says it couples the high speed of an airplane with the low operating costs of a boat. Quote, with orders totaling over $7 billion, Regent will commercialize sea gliders for sustainable high-speed regional mobility with first passengers boarding in 2025. The company stated along with the announcement that they achieved an initial series of test flights of the craft. Their test was of a 1/4 scale model and will now focus on developing the full scale prototype with the 65 feet wingspan to start testing flights with passengers in 2024. Quote, people have been attempting to make these vehicles viable for 60 years, and in 15 months, we have gone from a drawing on a napkin to the first successful flight, said Mike Klinker, Regent CTO and co founder. With a range of 180 miles and able to fly at 180 miles per hour, Regent have plans to service coastal communities such as New York City and Tokyo. By last year, Regent's founders had raised almost $10 million from investors, which have included Mark Cuban and Peter Thiel. Quote, sea gliders will bring welcome relief for travelers seeking an alternative to travel air to traditional air travel, servicing coastal communities such as New York City, the Hawaiian Islands, Barcelona, Tokyo, and many more worldwide, said Billy Thalheimer, CEO and co-founder of Regent. So then we have a video here, but there's the two-parter of the video here. Hey, hello, the Bandit Girl. Hello, hello. How you doing? I think I might know who you are. But it's so good to see you in here. Welcome to A Ray of Sunshine on YouTube. Kicking off the YouTube channel here. So good to see you in here. And thank you for stopping by. I knew it was you, Brenda. I was like, I think it's Brenda. There we go. The comments are a little laggy on here though, as well. Like the YouTube's first before the StreamYard. But yeah, there you go. Let's shout her out. This is her YouTube, or excuse me, her Twitch channel too. She's one of my mods on Twitch. Great supporter of the stream. So glad to see you in here, Brenda. So good to see you. I don't know if you're working today, but if you took some time off of a little bit of work to see this, I commend you. I'm on story number 2 of today out of 5 or 6 I think I did for today, just to kick off the YouTube channel. So so good to see you in here. So good. Okay, you're working. All right. So 5 seconds. Okay. So you're working. There we go. All right. So good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. So we're talking about this air glider, this sea glider here. After a successful test, it runs like, I think it's like a plane and a boat at the same time. So we got one video here. I think after the story here, we're gonna look at both of the videos instead of just playing one, and I have to read then another one. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue on with the story. Waiting on IT to. Oh, hold on. Waiting. Oh, okay. You're waiting on. Yeah. IT and companies like to take their time. They like to take their time. So, hang in there. Maybe they'll come by. They'll come by in like any minute, probably, or 5 minutes or whatever. I have the same thing at my job too. Like, hey, the machine's broken. It's not IT, it's someone else, but my machine's broken. I have to wait like 5 or 10 minutes for somebody. So it's a great way to slow down my productivity. All right, let's continue on. Um, Regent stresses that the last time a new mode of transportation was invented was the helicopter, and that the sea glider breaks this dry spell with its first ever utilization of 3 modes of maritime operation: floating, foiling, and flying in a single craft. Quote, 40% of the world's population lives in coastal communities. These successful flights give us full confidence in our ability to apply this technology at full scale and bring sea gliders to global commercial service by 2025. The Sea Glider operates in 3 modes. From the dock, the vehicle first drives on its hull like a traditional boat. As it leaves the harbor area and speeds up, it rises on its hydrofoil, a key maritime technology popularized by the America's Cup sailing competitions. The hydrofoil offers significant wave tolerance and a smooth ride as the Sea Glider leaves a crowded harbor. Upon reaching open water, the Sea Glider takes flight, retracting the foil and accelerating up to cruise speed, all while staying within a wingspan of the water's surface. This gives the advantages of numerous aerodynamic and operational efficiencies, enabling increased payload compatibility and greater range than other electric aircraft concepts. And there is our second video there. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. This might be like a short video, and this is from Reuters. I'm showing the electric plane taking off, I think. Let's see.
From all-electric aircraft Alice taking off in Washington state to electric seaplanes gliding over Boston waters, or a battery-powered plane taking
And the
to
volume is
Italy's
all the way up,
skies.
so if you
A
can't hear it, I
global
do
race is on
apologize.
to
I'm trying
develop
to mute
electric
myself.
planes.
We were able to witness history in the making.
About 200 companies are looking at electric aviation, representing hope for the aviation industry that's lagging behind others when it comes to tackling carbon emissions. In September 2022, US aviation company Aviation Aircraft debuted its all-electric aircraft. The plane, named Alice, flew for 8 minutes, reaching an altitude of 3,500 feet and peaking at 149 knots, about 170 miles per hour. By being electric, the plane requires some charge on the ground. Aviation President and CEO Gregory Davis.
We're targeting a design criteria of 35 minutes for a charge. And so that'll be a charge for the typical route length. It's actually, as I just said, it's actually a design point. So going back to the comment I made earlier about designing batteries for aircraft, it's one of the considerations is how quickly do we want it to charge? How much power do you want to be able to draw from it?
Alice's flight is the latest in a growing global race to develop electric planes. The aviation sector accounts for about 2.8% of global CO2 emissions. What is more worrying is that emissions from flying have risen by 2% a year since the turn of the century, and they could reach a fifth of total emissions by 2050. As the global economy slowly but surely shifts to a lower carbon model, the aviation sector has been lagging behind. The prospect of electric flight is appealing in many ways and can help speed up decarbonisation in a growing sector. A number of manufacturers are developing electric aircrafts, including Siemens, Airbus, and Rolls-Royce. United Airlines plans to have electric aircrafts in service by 2026. This all-electric seaplane, for example, aims to bridge the gap between ferries and aircraft, offering high-speed coastal transport with zero emissions. Its developer, Regional Electric Ground Effect Nautical Transport, says sea gliders could offer the aviation industry the first truly sustainable commercial airliner. Billy Thalheimer is CEO and co-founder of Regent.
So we've seen very strong customer interest, both from the airline industry and from the ferry industry. You know, we sort of bridge the gap in both. We represent a vehicle that is an order of magnitude faster than ferries, 6 to 10 times faster than ferries, and half the cost of an aircraft. And it beats the door-to-door time on both and completely eliminates emissions. So customers on both air and sea side of the house have been very interested.
All right, so that was the first video there. Kind of neat just seeing the air gliders there on the water, just sailing along there, flying. And now we're going to look at the second vehicle here. This is probably the current story that is from related to the story as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. think that's probably like a test. They probably showed one of the tests. The new sea gliders there. It looks kind of neat, you know. It's being in the water, then it gets to go up air for a little bit, and then goes back down. So it looks kind of neat. And this is a hybrid sea glider, by the way. And so it's very, very neat that they're coming out with these sea gliders. I kind of want to be in one myself um, one day. Hopefully with a little bit of a passenger seat in it as well. But kind of interesting, neat little invention there of the hybrid sea glider there. So coming to probably in the waters and lakes and oceans near us soon. So incredible world first electric sea glider vehicle ready for production after successful tests. And this is from Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for September 29th of 2022. As we get ready to go to our third story for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Replay viewers, live viewers like Brenda here. Thank you so much for watching. As we break in a little bit of a ray of sunshine here on YouTube, kicking it off with a little special live stream here. And story number 3, incredible 3D rendering of Jupiter spacecraft reveals frosted cupcake clouds. And it's from Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for September 29th of 2022. That looks like a nice picture there. Frosted cupcake clouds. Kind of neat. And this is from Jupiter, by the way. Jupiter having those clouds. That's kind of neat. Looking at it. Look like that one on the right there, like a little bit of a cyclone. But let's go ahead and look at this story because it's kind of neat. It looks like a painting, in my opinion. It looks like a painting. But this is really Jupiter's clouds here. So the beauty of nature, even around the world, the beauty of it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this third story. So here we go. After the Juno spacecraft used 3D rendering to process some images it took of clouds covering Jupiter, they appeared like the flourish frosting atop of queenly cupcake. What's more, Juno Cam's renderings came in the visible light spectrum, so the animations of the relative heights of the cloud tops in our solar system's largest planet are exactly as we would see them. The results have been presented by citizen scientist, professional mathematician, and software developer Gerald Eichstadt at the Europlanet Science Congress 2022 in Granada. Understanding the relative heights of the spiky pillars within the swirls will help scientists to unveil in more detail the elements that compose them and better create the concept art for Disney's next Frozen movie. Juno arrived at Jupiter on July 4th of 2016 after a 5-year, 1.7 billion mile journey and settled into a 53-day polar orbit stretching from just above Jupiter's cloud tops to the outer reaches of the Jovian magnosphere. Put on board initially to increase public engagement around the exploration of Jupiter and its moons, Eichstätt has demonstrated that JunoCam can also provide valuable science. Quote, the Juno mission provides us with an opportunity to observe Jupiter in a way which is essentially inaccessible by Earth-based telescopic observations, Dr. Eichstätt explains. We can look at the same cloud features from very different angles within only a few minutes. This has opened up a new opportunity to derive 3D elevation models of Jupiter's cloud tops. The images of the wonderful chaotic storms on Jupiter seem to come to life, showing clouds rising at different altitudes. This is another picture of the clouds from Jupiter there. Looks amazing. Again, it just looks like a painting. It looks like a painting. Continuing on, using the different ways in which sunlight is reflected and scattered by clouds, the team has succeeded in pinpointing the elevation of the cloud tops observed. Solar illumination is most intense for clouds in the upper atmosphere. Deeper in the atmosphere, more light is observed, particularly by methane, before being scattered back up to the camera by the cloud tops. Quote, from theoretical models, the clouds are expected to be composed of different chemical species, ammonia, I think it's ammonia, ammonium hydrosulfate, and water ice from top to bottom, said Dr. Eichenstadt. Once we calibrated our data, thanks to other measurements of the same cloud tops, we will test and refine the theoretical predictions and have a better 3D picture of the chemical composition. The pictures from Juno have been some of the most awe-inspiring to ever come out of observations in space. And the colors, patterns, and textures of the Jovian atmosphere surmounts the creativity of even the most excitable painter. Again, it's just like a painting. So this is a video of the spacecraft's perspective from the clouds here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video here. So there's a little 30-second snippet of that. Now with the camera going inside, it looks more like flowers, like you're going really inside of a flower there. But that's some amazing, amazing pictures by the Juno there from Jupiter. Amazing photos. Just very incredible. Incredible pictures there. And that's one of the stuff that I do like to do on my shows. It's something that's picture worthy that we typically don't get to see, or it's all inspiring. This is what some of the stories are like to present, that I like to present there, because the pictures are amazing. So incredible 3D rendering from Jupiter's spacecraft reveals frosted cupcake clouds. This is from Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for September 29th of 2022. Amazing stuff there. Amazing stuff there from Jupiter. As we hit on to our next story for tonight, or today, as a matter, but it's night somewhere. Thrilled swimmers are visited by playful penguins and sea lions at the equator. And this is from the Good News Network for October 2nd of 2022. And Brenda says, in the beginning of the video, it looked like a rose. It did. Just seeing I was more in the cloud perspective, just looking at, oh, wow. You know, the spikes are up. Some of them you kind of see like the swirls around it. It's like, oh, I wonder if it's like a rainstorm or a little cyclone going on in Jupiter and all of that. But then once the camera, that video really helped, went inside, I said, this looks like a flower. And it kind of does look like a rose as well, just looking at that now. So that's some incredible stuff from Juno there. So kudos to Juno with the great pictures of the clouds in Jupiter there. Man, that's some good photos there from Jupiter. Anyway, so let's go on to our next one. Again, throat swimmers are visited by playful penguins and sea lions at the equator. So this must be a sea lion here, I think. So, like he's just chilling. It's a normal day, a normal day in the water. Brenda says, "Oh, that would be fun. Penguins and sea lions. Oh yeah, penguins and sea lions at the equator. By the way, at the equator. I was like, oh, we could swim in the equator. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. There has to be a story to why they would post this. In case we're just seeing some beautiful penguins and sea lions, which I don't mind anyway. But here we go. When most people think of penguins, they usually think of icy Antarctica. Yet only 7 of the 17 known penguin species live there. This small Galapagos penguin actually lives and thrives near the hot equator, and these swimmers were delighted when they came to play. See, there has to be a reason with penguins, and why would they post a story? Penguins in warm weather. That's kind of a rare. Continuing on, with their scuba fins, the humans were diving in the waters off Fernandina. See, I correct myself. where the flightless birds find an abundance of food due to the convergence of powerful ocean currents, including the cold Humboldt waters, bringing yummy anchovies, sardines, and mullet. The penguins are amazingly agile in water, able to reach speeds of 20 miles per hour using their powerful flippers. As the pair of divers were snorkeling with the curious penguins in the blue waters near the rocky shores of the Galapagos Island, playful sea lions swept in as well, and all was captured on video. The sea lions rolled and cavorted, inviting the clumsy humans, wow, okay, that's a little bit of harsh words, good news, to play and follow them as they dashed back and forth and all around them. Purely the clowns of the ocean, they seemingly were eager to have fun with anyone who enters their domain. One sea lion even tried to catch one of the penguins in what seemed to be a game, but the penguin was not amused. Wisely, penguins avoid sea lions as they are also known to prey on penguins when that opportunity arises. But it is not uncommon to find the animals here curiously approaching humans. Swimmers in this group enjoyed a once in a lifetime experience as they played with sea lions and penguins in their own habitat and on their own terms. So here's the video here of the of probably the penguins and the sea lions that the swimmers caught here. Let's take a look at this. Wow, amazing, amazing stuff. The sea lions and the sea penguins there just floated, swung around. Some of them were playing and all of that. So incredible video from the swimmers there from the equator. Again, kind of weird to think to have penguins in the equator in the warm weather and all of that, but very good stuff there. So thrilled swimmers are visited by playful penguins and sea lions at the equator. This is for the Good News Network for October 2nd of 2022. Great stuff there. Um, near the equator there. And I'm glad they did catch the video of that because I said this why would they have a story with penguins in the equator? But in case they just want to show the nice penguins on the pictures, I mean the pictures could have been incredible. Which they were, and the video was incredible as well. It's just rare that you hear penguins and warm weather go together. Um, anyway, here's our next story for today. This is kind of survival of a town when Hurricane Ian hit about a couple of weeks ago. This town, literally um, miles away from all the wreckage, this town managed to survive the hurricane miles away. So, new Florida communities survived hurricane virtually unscathed after being designed for resilience. And this is for Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for October 5th of 2022. You will be amazed at why this town kind of survived. And kind of in the works of new technology and maybe something with the houses and being, solar friendly. If you want to get a preview of the story, I had to look at this a little bit for myself and see how, after all that destruction from the state about a couple weeks ago, this town looks like nothing happened. So let's go ahead and take a look at this story here of this Florida community here. So here we go. Even as 2 million Floridians lost power during the recent Hurricane Ian, one unique community survived intact. Despite being located around 20 miles from Fort Myers, the heart of the devastation, Babcock Ranch's blend of solar power, native flora, and built to code construction has meant that apart from ripped up pole coverings, broken fence posts, and a missing shingle or two, they never even lost power. Let me repeat, they never even lost power in that storm. Roughly 4,600 residents live in Babcock Ranch, built as a storm resilient and 100% solar powered town. Quote, they were told that Babcock Ranch was built to stand up to storms, but you never really know for sure until you see how everything performs when a storm comes. Lisa Hall, a community representative, told CBS News. Ian put it to an extreme test. Built around 25 feet higher on average than surrounding communities, Babcock Ranch is beyond the reach of stormwaters, and with buildings specified for Category 4 hurricane winds of 145 miles, Babcock passed the test. And how? Built in 2018 specifically for climate resiliency, the town has its own wastewater plant and water system that penetrates deep into an underground aquifer. Drinking water wasn't contaminated and never shut off. Continuing on, 700,000 solar panels owned by Florida Power and Light provide every home with electricity, and despite covering an area of 900 acres, they remarkably sustained minimum damage. Neither power nor internet ever went out. No, the power nor the internet never went out. That's amazing. The solar panels provided power to a storm shelter that wasn't even expected to be used because of the late delivery of a diesel generator. At the last minute, the shelter was open and remained the only one in the area that still had power. Unsurprisingly, the town expects its population to grow to 50,000 with 6 million square feet of commercial space. Residents have organized several donation drives to help out communities less fortunate than them. Quote, it is a constant outpouring of support from Babcock Ranch residents who know how incredibly fortunate they are to have homes and communities still intact, Hall said. That's amazing. That's very amazing that just look at it. It's like nothing happened. Nothing happened. They were able to keep their electricity, keep their internet from that category. What did I mean? That's a 2, 1? No, it was a 4 when it first made landfall. But that's amazing. Just looking at that, nothing happened on there. Chat disconnected. Please wait while we. Uh-oh. Am I still on? Hold on. Am I still on, guys? Okay. Hello. Okay, I'm here. All right. I'm back. I'm still here. All right. That was weird. My YouTube went away when like the on my side when I see the stream, it kind of went out. So, okay, I think we're back. If I ever did go out, so thank you, Brenda. Thank you for still being here. All right, so I think I'm back. But anyway, we were just talking about the amazing that this hurricane didn't touch this community here in all up to date codes, also solar power. So probably the only thing I'd say this is probably the only thing if people need shelter, that if they can't stay in those islands like Fort Myers and all of those, they could come here. I mean, they can build like kind of shelters over here, knowing that now as an example of a Category 4 storm, that this can survive the test. So we'll see. We'll see what they'll do there. But that's kind of amazing what they did there. So, new Florida community survived hurricane virtually unscathed after being designed for resilience. This is from Andy Corbley of the Good News Network for October 5th of 2022. As we go on to our last story for today, and this is kind of a little bit long, but um, this is an amazing story here of reconnection. And I kind of do love these stories as well of family members or somebody you haven't seen in like 40, 50 years come together all at once at some weird coincidence. So this one's not different here. She finally met her long lost dad who didn't know she existed thanks to a stranger on Facebook. And this is from the Good News Network from yesterday, October 9th of 2022. So I do love to kind of end stories on a good, positive, very positive note here. And this is the one here. I mean, the father did not know that. Hey, my daughter didn't exist, and all of a sudden now they found me. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is our final story for today, and again, thank you guys so much for watching, and all the replay viewers as well if you're still watching. Thank you guys so much. So let's go ahead and conclude with this story here. Here we go. A woman finally met her long lost dad, a man who didn't even know she existed, thanks to an amateur sleuth that she met on Facebook. Audriana Tyler thought she knew her father until the age of 13, when she overheard him referring to her as his stepdaughter. Since then, she wanted to know who her biological father was, but never could find out anything about him. Now a 33-year-old mom married to a truck driver in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, she recalled, "I was desperate to find my real dad. It always mattered to me." She began to search again this year by ordering a DNA test kit and asked for assistance from strangers, running a Facebook group where people help strangers unite with long-lost relatives. Quote, "This wonderful lady called Suzanne on the group helped me build my family tree, and after doing another DNA test, we found my aunt. They tracked down her 47-year-old aunt, Kathy Johnson, and from there found her biological dad, a police officer who lived 1,000 miles away in Florida." Quote, "She says she put me in touch with my dad, and I was so nervous. How do you just call someone and ask, 'Are you my dad?'" Adriana told SWNS News Service that Joseph Frank had no idea she had ever been born and was thrilled to learn he not only had another daughter, but two young grandchildren. Quote, "When he found out about me, he was so excited, and it was such a relief. I felt so vulnerable before in case he wanted nothing to do with me." Um, let's see, continue on. After spending the next month texting and video calling daily, getting to know each other, Joseph traveled from Florida to Pennsylvania so they could meet in person for the first time. Quote, "We spent some time getting to know each other before finally meeting, and it was just perfect. It felt like a dream. They met last week at a local festival near her home, and now they're already planning a family holiday. During the emotional meeting, they enjoyed pizza, and she also discovered she has two half sisters who are around her age." Um, Quote, "We bonded right away, and I finally feel I can start to heal now. Everything in it exactly how it was supposed to." So there's the photo of Adrienne there with now the dad, or her dad now, and her two kids and his grandkids there. So an amazing family photo there. Continuing on, Dad Joseph agreed it's been pretty amazing. God works in mysterious ways. At the time when Adriana came into my life, I was going through a tough breakup and I really needed that. That part of my heart got filled again when I found out about my daughter. Joseph remembered having a summer fling with Adriana's mother in the 80s while he was working on his uncle's farm. They grew close but never spoke again. According to Joseph, who says he didn't know she was ever expecting a baby. Quote, he said he always wanted children and he was excited to be a parent to me. Joseph stayed with the family for 3 days, with Adriana describing it as a surreal experience. It was very emotional. I cried all weekend. It's not until you're stood next to someone that you realize how alike you look. To think I've been waiting my whole life for that moment. Um, it was so worth the wait. Joseph added, at first we were both a bit nervous, but we settled so quickly and we realized we're similar in a lot of ways. It was great to meet my grandchildren, Maximus 4 and Presley 2. Those some good names there. We took it slow, but by the time I left, they were sad to see me go. It's so excited to start planning out our future lives together. Adriana said, I just kept thinking about there is a man out there who deserves to know he has two grandchildren. I didn't want to die knowing I hadn't tried. I feel like I can finally start to heal now. I'm not wondering why he didn't want me when all this time it was because he didn't even know I existed. And yeah, that's the ending of it. But that's incredible. Incredible story there of to end the live stream with today. Um, just just knowing that, hey, I didn't know about my dad until like 13, and that was all I know of him. And he didn't think, hey, I didn't know I have a daughter existed here. So it's amazing that these DNA type kind of like shows now. There are shows with this where you just take DNA tests and then they'll find a match, and then you get paired um, with your with your family. So it's incredible how technology, especially like DNA tests and all of that, has really proved to be beneficial in reconnecting people to their loved ones. So to end this, she finally met her long lost dad who didn't know she existed thanks to a stranger on Facebook. And this is from the Good News Network for October 9th of 2022. It's like, excuse me, so glad it turned out well. Yes, I'm so glad it did too. That was an amazing story to close out the live stream here. Um, I'm so glad it did turn out well, and they connected, took their time, and at the end, you know, um, had that bond again. So that was a very incredible story here. So um, that was a great way to end that story there. I do have a Discord for any of the stories that you heard from today. Fortunately, I have not set up my Discord, but probably the next video I'll do on YouTube, I'll make sure to put it on there. But again, as I stated earlier, and like Brenda here, who follows me on Twitch. Again, for anybody that watches the replay, again, if you want more stories like this, I have my main channel on Twitch, season 3 of A Ray of Sunshine. Will return Monday, October 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern on my Twitch channel. So make sure to tune in on Twitch. And also any extra stories that I find on the website that I use. This is like a secondary channel for different positive news stories that I don't get the chance to do on my main channel. So this is the purpose of the YouTube here, and make sure I don't speculate people that are on Twitch like, oh my God, he moved to YouTube. Like, no, this is like a secondary channel for all the stories that I cannot get to on my Twitch channel. So um, so it's nice to have at least an extra slate that I can post videos and relate more stories out to a brand new audience, or to a same audience like Brenda here and anybody else. So um, so glad for it, and I'm so glad that now I can finally unleash this channel on here. So with that case, we're about to go on our 1 hour mark, which is kind of good. So I kind of wanted to last this for an hour, so I got like 30 seconds, but who cares? But if you're interested though of me being on Twitch, I will be back on live about 5 or 5:30, and we'll be doing some gaming until about 8 o'clock, till Monday Night Raw and the big Monday Night Football game. Me and Brenda, the Chiefs and the Raiders. So make sure to hop onto my Twitch channel, and I'll be doing some gaming over there for about a couple hours until to kill the time until Monday Night Football and wrestling comes on. So I'll be glued to two things at one time. So but until then, guys, as always, I leave with this mark of being positive, being safe, and also being kind to one another. Always end that on my live streams, and probably will end it always on my videos as well. So I thank you guys so much for watching the live stream. I thank you guys so much for the replay viewers that are watching this as well. This is going to go up as a video. So Brenda, thank you so much for taking your time off um, for watching as well. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. And until then, take care. Have a great day and a great evening. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day.